We're going through some tough times, and it is normal to need extra money. In times of crisis, it is harder to find good jobs, especially if you graduated in an area that doesn't have a lot of demand in the market. But there is a way to make more money and also help other people. Have you ever thought about offering services to the elderly in your area? Well, there is a great need for people to help the elderly with day-to-day tasks, and you can also make some good money doing that. Money Arata. It is easy to get started. I'll give you some tips on how you can find the best opportunities, how you can advertise your services, and also how to keep track of your hours and your expenses, as well as staying aware of the laws and regulations in your area. So, if you want to make some money while also helping the elderly, let's get started. And please note, this is not financial service. Read the full disclaimer before proceeding. The population decline increases the demand for services for the elderly. Understand the opportunities of this demographic trend. The population is getting older. On the one hand, people are living for longer, and on the other hand, couples are having fewer children. But the result is that now there are more old people than young people in many countries. In some of these countries, more diapers are being sold for the elderly than for babies. So with more elderly people, the responsibility of taking care of them falls on their few children and even fewer grandchildren, who are all already overwhelmed with all the pressures from their normal lives. This can lead to stress, exhaustion, and also some family arguments. In the past, it was pretty common to see a photograph of a family together. You would see a grandmother, maybe her 4 children, and then like 12 grandchildren. The trend now is that there's going to be only one grandmother with her only descendant, and that person doesn't have children, they just have a pet dog, for example. This change presents an opportunity for you to make money by offering products and services to the elderly. They need home care, transportation, and help with all types of basic tasks. And even if they are very healthy and they are independent, they still need company, attention. And they are often willing to pay for all of that for that company. Of course, many of these people live on small pensions. They can't afford anything, but there are also many who have saved during their whole lives, and now they do have the money. They would like to use that money to have a better life. Not to mention those who receive also some financial help from their children. And these people, the younger people, they don't have time to be taking care of their parents because they're very busy doing the work. But they do have the money to pay someone like you to take care of them. You are not taking money from the elderly. You are helping them to have a better life. Now, I know that the title of this episode might generate some controversial emotions here. Some people might think that, oh, come on, this is like a shame to be taking money from the poor old people, that we have to be more charitable. But you have to notice the following. In many cases, the elderly themselves, they don't feel comfortable asking us for help all the time for free. There are people who would prefer to pay money and make that relationship more professional instead of just asking for favors all the time. They prefer to pay a driver than to have to ask their son to leave work in the middle of the day to take them to, I don't know, some doctor's appointment. They prefer to pay a caregiver to change an adult diaper than to be without clothes in front of their grandson. They like having a teacher showing them exactly how to use their mobile phone than having some unwilling son who doesn't have a lot of patience or skills to be explaining things. Imagine this. It is much better to be able to send a message to some young person, some young neighbor, and ask them to do some activity like picking up a package on the other side of town, than to be doing the same thing but asking for a favor and then, feeling like a nuisance. So please change your mindset. Focusing on the elderly population doesn't mean that you're taking money from helpless old people, but rather you're helping families to deal with all types of practical problems in this later stage of life. you have a great opportunity to make a difference in the day-to-day lives of these families. Think about the amount of services that you can offer. You can do the grocery shopping, you can be driving them to all types of places, to doctors' offices, to be fixing things around the house. You could be setting up computers and their cell phones. You can be helping them with exercises or preparing meals or simply just being around just a few hours a day and talk and help with small activities or general stuff. You can give them the help that they need and also make some money in an honest and useful way. Everybody will appreciate the opportunity to, feel safe and independent within their own homes. They will understand the value of your time and of course they will be willing to pay for it. Your services can provide them peace of mind, knowing that they have somebody there who they can rely on in case of an emergency or for just daily tasks. For the children of these elderly people, they might be, I don't know, living far away, or maybe they're too busy to be all the time to help. These folks will be grateful for your services. They will be willing to pay for that. Your help will also make them feel more at ease, knowing that their parents are safe and they're well taken care of. With your help, these people can be feeling good, knowing that their parents have the assistance that they need, and at the same time, they have some independence to be living without having to go to some daycare facility. In addition, this audience tends to be very loyal. If you do your job right, you can also win extra regular customers and get a good reputation in the market. So don't be shy about offering your time and your talents to help the older people in your area. Whenever you feel guilty or embarrassed about asking for money, remember that you're doing a good deed and you're getting paid for that. If you need help to rephrase, to reframe these limiting beliefs you might have about money, you can go to arata.se/money taboo. Then you can learn how to overcome that limitation. Be professional. Create an informative website or rebrand your whole social media presence so that it is clear what you do. To officially provide services to the elderly, you should establish a clear and professional presence online. This includes creating a website or a social media profile that describes very clearly the products, the services that you offer. And then you can use Google and social media advertising tools to display ads about these services. The ads will only be shown to elderly people in your area or their children. That will prevent you from wasting money on advertising to people who are absolutely not interested at all, who are not part of your target group. In addition, you have to highlight the work you cannot do. For example, if you are not a nurse, please don't offer health services. If you're not a physical education professional, well, probably it's not a good idea to be prescribing physical exercises. By providing this information, the elderly will be better able to decide if you are the right person that they need or not. In addition to clearly describing the services that you can provide and those that you cannot provide, there are also other considerations to be made when you're setting up your professional online presence, when you want to provide your services to the elderly. First, make sure that your website or your social media profile is easy to understand, easy to use. The elderly might not be as experienced with technology as younger people, right? So you should make very clear that your page is made in a way that is very easy for them to understand and to navigate. A simple detail is to increase the font size and make it easier to read, even for people who have some vision problems. Also, include information about yourself and your qualifications. That introduction will give older people a better idea of who you are and the type of service that they might expect from you. For example, what times of the day will you be available? On weekends, at night? And if there is some type of an emergency in the middle of the night, will you charge a higher rate for that, extra fee? What about the payment options? You might also want to include some information about the area where you offer your services, some topics of interest that you have, some special offers, some discounts. Also, you might want to include a blog or frequently asked questions section that will be answering the common questions that you will be receiving for your older people, your potential customers. And once you've served some of your initial customers, your clients, you can ask them to leave an honest testimonial about your work. You could film these testimonials with your phone and put them on your website or your social media profile, and that all will make it more easy to understand and increase the credibility of your work. Overall, providing older people with a clear and professional presence on your website or your social media profile is one of the best ways to officially focus on this audience. To make your activity professional, you have to draft good contracts and clear terms of service. It is crucial that you use well-drafted contracts and terms of service. These documents serve various purposes, including legally protecting you and also setting the right expectations for all parties involved. When you're creating your terms of service, you have to write clauses that will ensure protection for both sides. This includes the scope of the services that will be provided, the payment structure, and all types of additional costs. It is also a good idea to include a section to clarify the cancellation policy and the responsibility of each party. It is also a good idea to include a section on liability and insurance coverage. You have to be aware of the special responsibility that comes when you are providing a service to a vulnerable population. Ensure any communication with the family is done professionally, and that all work will be provided in accordance to the contract terms. For certain activities, you might need some consent from the adult children. For example, if the elderly person suddenly says, I'm not feeling very good, can you take them to the hospital? Well, in this situation, you need to write to the adult children and have them to confirm in written form, allowing you to go ahead and perform that service. Or if you're the type of person who don't feel comfortable with this type of emergencies, you can also put on your website and your contract that you absolutely don't provide any type of health-related activity. The best way here is to consult with a lawyer to draft the contract and the terms of service that you will use. It might seem like an extra cost in the beginning, but this is a precaution that can prevent a big loss in the future. So by acting this way, you can safely offer the best to your customers and at the same time take advantage of this opportunity to make money while helping the elderly. As the population ages, you got a great opportunity to make money by helping older people. Many of them need specific services and they are willing to pay for someone like you who can specialize in their needs. So if you're still in the mindset that for whatever reason you don't feel very comfortable talking about money or charging for your services, for your time, I want to invite you to get rid of that taboo and maybe other limiting factors and other limiting beliefs about money by watching a special class of our Truly Wealthy training. Right now you can go to arata.se/money taboo.